Next we're going to sew this button on to the piece of fabric using your machine. Will I do this for one button? Probably not. Take me longer to set it up than to hand sew one button. However, you know that whenever you buy clothes, the buttons are all loose and they're usually held on by one thread. So usually when I buy my husband's shirts or my blouses, the first thing I do is just come to the machine, put in the right color thread, and just re-sew all the buttons, because I know after you wash that garment the first time, all those buttons are going to come off. So I have two different buttonhole feet here. One of them here is the M foot, and that is from the Grace on Hire machines. And this one here is going to be with the A-line machines. Sew on a button. I'm going to first use this M foot. Now if you have a button that has 4 holes and you want to stitch both of them, you're going to put this, it's sort of shaped like a forklift, so you're going to put your button under the forklift so that you only see 2 holes. You start out by only seeing 2 holes. This button foot has a little shank that's removable, so if this is a coat button that you want to creating a shank or have that button sit off of the garment just a little bit, then you want to push this shank down. If you was as a shirt button and you want it to lie flat to the fabric, retract the little plastic shank and put it to the back. So now I'm going to go ahead and put my buttonhole foot on. What I want to do is I'm going to select, if you have the computerized machine, just select the buttonhole, the button foot, or the button stitch. And usually it's best to lower your feed dogs. If not, you don't have to, but if you don't realize that the feed dogs are going to kind of push the button up and down like that, which if it's a slippery button can come flying out. So what I want to do is I first want to see 2 holes, and I'm going to make this one with a shank, so I'm going to put the shank forward. So let me set it forward, and I want to see 2 holes. If you do not have a computerized machine, you want to set your machine to a regular zigzag of about a 3.5 millimeter width and lower your feed dogs. So anyway, what I'm going to do is you can hyperextend the foot, the presser bar. I'm going to put this down on here and hand walk the first 2 stitches. Once I know it clears both holes, just hit the button and here we go. If it's for children's clothes, do it 2 times. Okay, I'm going to raise the needle and I'm going to pull the button straight forward. There we go, go a little straight forward. And now I'll line up on the second 2, and again, hand walk the first 2 stitches to make sure that I have cleared both of the holes, and let her rip. You can leave it short, or you can raise the needle, pull it straight forward, clip, and I can take this and pull my thread to the back and tie it. If you can't get a hold of it, what you do is you just simply, you can either take a needle, sew it through all the way to the back, or run it. If it's a shank button, usually I will just simply put the thread through and twist it around to reinforce the shank. And I can either sew it, and actually some fray check works really well. That way you don't have to cut it, but fray check will hold that end of that button in there. It's a very strong button, it's not going to come out. Another for the A-line machines, this would be your buttonhole. And again, you're going to set up the machine the same way with a 3.5 millimeter wide zigzag stitch with your feed dogs down. You place your button under the foot. The blue part of the button goes forward, and I'm again run the first 2 stitches, If you need a shank on that, then you just take an old sewing machine needle, and there is actually a hole right here so that you can insert. Let me raise this up so I can get it to it. There, you raise this in there, and there's a little slot for it, and then that also builds in a shank. There we go. And I have boys, I always do that twice because they're hard on buttons. Raise the needle, pull straight towards you. I'll take that needle out, and your button is securely sewn. Again, you can take these through to the back and tie them off, but it's a quick way to put on buttons. I made one dress one time that had 32 buttons down the front, and you bet this saved my life. Okay, that's it for buttons.